Just like you, I've actually struggled with this whole fine natural hair thing over the years, and it's taken me a really long time to tweak and figure out exactly what my regimen should look like. Curlfriend, does this sound like you? Thankfully, I'm finally moving in the right direction because I've actually committed myself to learning exactly what it is that my fine natural hair needs so that I can be flourishing and moving in the right direction. These are the 12 things that I stopped doing to my fine natural hair in 2022. Watch this video all the way to the end to find out the number one thing that I did to finally retain length and to finally see thicker strands on my fine natural hair. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're my beloved OG Curlfriend returning back for more, welcome back to Fine Natural Hair Rocks, where your search for the very best in fine natural hair, beauty, and lifestyle advice stops. Detangling my hair every single week. Curlfriend. There was a point in time when I was detangling my strands every single week. And for those of you who have coily hair, which is the majority of us here on Fine Natural Hair Rocks, that's actually one of the worst things you can do. Now, what I do is I only wash my hair every single 2 weeks, which means that I'm only detangling my hair every single 2 weeks. So that means less manipulation. That means less time taken out of my weekend to do my hair, which leads to less frustration, which also leads to greater retention and greater growth. Hot on the heels of that is that I actually stopped styling my hair every single week. So now that I'm washing my hair every 2 weeks, detangling my hair every 2 weeks, I'm actually only styling my hair every 2 weeks as well. For me and my coily fine natural hair, I find that that's kind of the sweet spot as it relates to figuring out how to rock a style and, be able to enter the world in a beautiful state, but at the same time, allowing my tresses to grow. The third thing that I stopped doing to my fine natural hair is using growth oils on my edges. Curlfriend, you guys have actually seen it right here on Fine Natural Hair Rocks. I lost my edges, not once, but twice, and it was not fun. Thankfully, they're back now. The way that I got them back was not by using products. So my product stash over there looks pretty intense, but there's a lot of products that I actually stopped using and I wouldn't use them again. So growth oils for my edges are definitely one of the things that I don't purchase anymore. I actually stopped using any gel on my scalp. So for my edges, I'll use a black edge control gel that has fenugreek as the main ingredient. And it's really nice because not only am I keeping my edges laid and slayed and everything's blending and looking good, but I'm also able to ensure that I'm actually doing something to grow out my edges, to make them thicker and to make them, overall in an optimal state for the future and beyond. The fifth thing that I stopped doing to my fine natural strands is using my Revere every single week. The Revere was not to blame. Fine natural strands actually cannot handle heat, manipulation, any of those things on a regular basis. However, the Revere still has a very important part in my regimen in the sense of only stretching my hair out 1, max 2 times per month. If you're interested in purchasing the Revere, we've actually got a coupon code here on Fine Natural Hair Rocks. That's FNHROCKS. You can get 10% off your entire Revere order. So definitely go ahead and check that on out. Curlfriend, the sixth thing that I stopped doing to my fine natural hair is wearing extensions like braids and twists. Now, my hair can't handle that. Interestingly enough, it took at least 12 years for me to realize that twists, kinky twists, natural braids, those styles, they don't work for my coily fine natural hair. Instead, my hair likes to be left alone. Either don't do anything to it, don't place anything intricately inside of it, or throw on a wig, apply a low manipulation style and kind of keep it moving. Let me know if your strands are anything like that. If you ever notice that you have excessive shedding, excessive breakage, you put your braids in, you take them out and your strands are a lot thinner than they were before, then chances are likely that you probably want to stop doing the kinky twists and adding extensions like braids to your hair as well too. Let me know about your experience down in the comment section because I would really love to know. Also, are you anything like me where you change your regimen quite often? I'd be interested to know that too because there's so much information out here, so much advice out here. It's almost like you don't have any other choice but to switch things up every now and then so that you can really see what's working and what's not working for your fine natural hair. The number 7th thing that I stopped doing to my fine natural strands is switching up my products every single wash day. Now, I will try a new deep conditioner. I will try a new leave-in or a detangler because, those are things that I can kind of directly compare, and it's always being tweaked. There's always something hot and new and fresh that's kind of cool to check out. But in terms of things like shampoo, in terms of things like leave-in conditioners, generally for the most part, I don't really switch those things on up too much because I find that my strands do a lot better when they kind of know what to expect by way of ingredients and by way of technique. Now, even when I am switching up my products, I can absolutely keep the same technique, but the products, whereas in the past I was switching everything, now I'm kind of, keeping it consistent with the shampoos and leave-in conditioners like I mentioned before. The 8th thing that I stopped doing is testing out a bunch of hairstyles for social media. Now, I love social media, I love YouTube, I love you guys, but I don't want to be losing my hair for it. And so for that reason, I actually had to kind of, reel it back a bit, calm down, and stop doing 5 million hairstyles on my fine natural hair. Now, I noticed that my strands are much happier since I stopped doing that. And at least now I know what styles work, what protective styles work for me, what low manipulation styles work for me, and which ones don't. And if you want to know which ones don't, then let me know that too. But now, at least I have an idea of what works and what doesn't work. And so I don't feel the need to switch up my style so often to try out every single trending hairstyle. It just doesn't work for me and my length retention goal that I am trying to hit sometime in the hopefully near future. Hot on the heels is testing out a bunch of new products for social media. Curlfriend, there's always gonna be an amazing product out. There's always gonna be something trending for Christmas, fall, Easter, summer. You get my drift. There's always gonna be something. And so while I would love to try all those things out, ultimately the goal here on Fine Natural Hair Rocks is to grow and retain as long and as healthy a fine natural hair as possible. And so that's just not really consistent with, growing out long and strong fine natural hair. Now, if there is a brand or a company that I think is going to work really well with my fine natural hair and is really going to benefit you here on Fine Natural Hair Rocks, then perhaps I might go ahead and connect in that sense. But moving on forward, here and right now, I'm not really overly interested in trying out 5 million different products because really and truly, it's not the products, it's the technique. Have you ever had a really bad habit of tugging on the ends of your fine natural strands? Like maybe you've got a beautiful afro, a wash and go, a twist out, whatever. And it's so pretty, you can't just help yourself but to touch it. Yeah, that was me. And I realized, I didn't think I had that issue, but I realized over time that I pretty much had that issue just like anybody else, where I like to touch my hair. So tugging on my ends, touching up my strands, removing that moisturization from my curls is something that I absolutely stopped doing in 2022. And I've seen a lot of progress on my strands because of it. Curlfriend, are you still with me? We're getting very close to that final but most important thing that I stopped doing to my fine natural strands to ensure that it would grow thicker and longer over time. But number 11 is lightly detangling my hair without any form of conditioner or, some type of moisturizing slip type agent. I was actually doing that unknowingly, maybe just pulling strands apart just because I didn't want those tangles to just sit in my strands. I realized over time that that was causing a lot of unnecessary breakage as well. And so I actually stopped doing that, and I actually have seen quite a bit of improvement because of it. And finally, if you're still here, this is literally the number one thing that I stopped doing to my strands that led to so much more growth and better, thickness and health and all of that good stuff, which is to stop comparing my fine natural strands to that of other fine naturals. So in the past, I would have been, working to not compare my growth, my styles, just the overall situation that was going on my unique head of hair. I was working hard to not compare that to other thick naturals. But interestingly, and along this journey, I found myself comparing my growth regimen, my growth output, my length retention, the overall health of my hair. I found myself comparing that to other fine naturals. And so since I stopped doing that, I stopped implementing those strategies. I really started to listen to what was working for me. I've noticed the biggest difference ever as it relates to achieving the goals with my hair that I'm trying to achieve. Curlfriend, did you like this video and you really want more? If you're interested in more tips, tricks, tutorials, or even just further time with me talking about your fine natural hair, then go ahead and hit the link right there to be a part of our mailing list, whereby I share this information directly to your inbox. Go ahead and do that after this video so that you never miss out. Protective styles is something that's so important for fine natural hair. If you've ever worn protective styles in the past and you felt like it didn't really do anything for you, then this next video coming up is just for you. Tune in to Fine Natural Hair Rocks next week on Monday, October 3rd to find out exactly why your fine natural hair is not flourishing from the protective styles that you're choosing. In the meantime, go ahead and like this video if you liked it, subscribe to Fine Natural Hair Rocks if you haven't subscribed already, and share this video with a friend who you know could benefit from some solid fine natural hair advice. Also, in the meantime, go ahead and check out this video next to see exactly how to grow long fine natural hair in 2022. Thank you so much for watching this video, Curlfriend. I will see you in that video. Bye!